Okay, today's topic is inequalities and intervals. You may have seen part of this before, so let's see what you remember. Okay, first one, definition of an inequality. It's a statement formed by placing an inequality sign between the two numerical or variable expressions. So in the past, you may have seen problems like this one here. The 5 is less than 7, and maybe your teacher did something like Pac-Man or the alligators, always eating the bigger number. Okay, that worked up until today, okay? Because now we're going to have variables in there. And we don't know what this variable means. We just know that it's smaller than 45, okay? We know that x is bigger than y. We know that p is bigger than, or it could equal, negative 3.5, okay? So we need to remember what these inequality symbols are. Okay, so if you've forgotten, I would write this down. This is greater than or equal to, less than, or less than or equal to. Okay, another definition, inequalities can be graphed in a number line representing all possible values of a variable. So if we say we know x, our unknown, is bigger than 5, okay, this open circle means that it can't be 5, but when I shade over to the side here, that means it could be anything bigger than 5. Okay, so open circle says it's not 5, but it could be bigger than 5. Over here I have y is less than or equal to negative 1. This time I put in a filled circle because it has that underline. It means it could equal negative 1, or it could be anything smaller than negative 1. Combined inequality, or it's also called a compound inequality. It's an inequality with two inequality signs such as a variable between the two quantities. For example, okay, negative 3 is less than x is less than or equal to 5. 800 is less than or equal to m, which is less than or equal to 950. 8 is greater than a, which is greater than 0. Basically what it's seeing is it's between these two numbers, okay? Our unknown is somewhere between 800 and 950. Could be 800, could be 950, or it could be anything in between. Okay, this one, it could not be negative 3 because there's no underline, but it could be 5, or it could be anything between those two numbers. Notice on this one, they're both pointing left, and in this one, they're both pointing right. Okay, they're never going to both be like this or like this, okay? If you're least to greatest, your arrows should be pointing to the left. If it's greatest to least, like 8 is bigger than 0, then it should be this way, because this is saying 8 is bigger than our unknown, which is bigger than 0. Okay, this kind of just summarized what I said. You've got the combined inequality can be graphed in a number line. Okay, if this helps you, go ahead and freeze it right now and write this down. But basically, your open circle means it doesn't include it, closed circle means it includes it. The shaded part in between is showing that it could be anything from negative 4 to 1. Not including negative 4, but could include 1. Interval, another vocab word, it's a segment on a number line. Basically, it's this shaded part in here. Okay. This is another one that comes up. X is not equal to a number, so it's kind of like your no smoking sign. It's an equal sign with a slash through it, meaning it's not equal to it. So it can't be 4, but it could be bigger than 4, or it could be less than 4. All right, so scores on the project. We could write an inequality to represent that, and I still have the data. Let's see, it went from 23 to 50. So 23 was our low score, and 50 was our high score. So P could represent project scores. And remember I said before, if you have your smaller number on the left, both of your arrows should be pointing to the left. And also, the 23 and the 50 were included in the data. Some people did get perfect scores, right? Okay, so that means we want that underline in there, showing that 23 is less than or equal to your project score, which is less than or equal to 50. So your score was somewhere between 23 and 50. It could be 23, it could be 50. Over the hill. Okay, so it's your definition of over the hill. When do you think someone is old? Okay, so if you think someone is old when they're 40, you would say maybe H is greater than or equal to 40. Or let's say you could write it like over the hill is when you're greater than 39. These are both really saying the same thing because you're either 39 or you're 40. Okay? it's your birthday or it's the day before your birthday, but there's nothing in between. So you're either saying you're greater than 39 or you're greater than or equal to 40. Really are saying the same thing. Speed limit on this Texas interstate, all right, the minimum speed is 40, the maximum speed is 75. So that means you could be going 40, could be going 75, still falling within the speed limit, but it could be something in between there and you'd still also be following the law there. Amount of liquid we can measure in one of these beakers. Okay, so it goes up to 250. We could write this two ways. We could say the liquid has to be less than or equal to 250. Or you could say, well, if it's empty, I mean, I guess I could say it's 0 if you wanted to. Okay, prices of McDonald's burgers in Australia. Okay, so we need to find our lowest price, which it looks like is $4.25 for the cheeseburger. And the most expensive looks like right here, $8.25, the double quarter pounder. All right, so that as an inequality would be $4.25 is less than or equal to all the burger prices, which is less than or equal to $8.25. So every burger, according to this menu in Australia, is between the price of $4.25 or $8.25, or it could include those two, depending which burger you choose to buy.